A patched headhunters member has been sentenced to life imprisonment at the Auckland High Court on Thursday the 27th of July 2023. Mikaere Puata-Chaney, 28, a patched headhunters member, was sentenced for life, after pleading guilty to the double murder of his ex-partner, Eliza Trubuhovich, and her father Geoffrey in Auckland on 15th of July 2022. The court proceedings unveiled a disturbing narrative surrounding the events that culminated in the brutal double murder. Puata-Chaney's past was marred by a history of violence and criminal behavior, stemming from a troubled upbringing in a violent family. His association with the notorious headhunters gang further fueled his already dangerous tendencies. The tragic incident occurred on 15th of July 2022, at a property at Berries Road, in Glendene, Auckland, where Eliza and her family resided. Despite having broken up several months before, Mikaere and Eliza continued to share custody of their dog, Rocka, and remained in contact. However, Mikaere's jealousy towards the possibility of Eliza being with another man was evident, leading to heated arguments between them. On the day of the shooting, July 15th, a long and intense phone call took place between the pair. After the call ended, Puata-Chaney drove 7.5 kilometers from his home in Te Atatu Peninsula to Eliza's residence in Glendene with a guitar case. He arrived at her home at 3 p.m. and immediately attracted attention of other residents in the neighborhood as he knocked on the front door, then forced it open with a loud bang. With the door only partially open at first, Eliza asked her ex what he was carrying. It was a soft guitar case, which contained the murder weapon, a semi-automatic gun and a box of ammunition. Once inside, Puata-Chaney grabbed Eliza with one hand, and forcefully dragged her from the address. The force used to get through the door and to get her out of the home was such that the timber door frame was damaged, along with the door's locking mechanism. Eliza could be heard screaming as she was dragged to the front lawn. Moments later, her father and her dog both came outside after they heard the screams. Puata-Chaney immediately opened fire on Eliza's father Geoffrey, at close range. Although he was shot multiple times, authorities determined that he died as a result of a bullet that passed through his heart. Puata-Chaney then turned to Eliza, who screamed, "Don't do it. Please don't do it." But he ignored the pleas, immediately opening fire on her at close range and continuing to pull the trigger as she fell to the ground. One of the shots was to the back of her head, and another shot was to her back. A third shot was fired at such close range that authorities would later find gunpowder stippling near the entry wound. After he killed her, he turned to their dog Rocka, who was shot and killed in a similar fashion. "40 minutes after the shooting, he returned home and contacted the emergency services, confessing to his actions and requesting the police to come. He was arrested near the Holy Family Catholic Church on Taikata Road in Te Atatu Peninsula. The entire violent incident lasted only 3 minutes. Neighbors in the area could hear noises and gunshots and called the police and ambulance. On arrival, police found 2 people and the dog dead. The crime scene was immediately established, and the surrounding roads were swiftly cordoned off. Police later found 8 spent bullet casings and 10 live rounds, suggesting the gun had malfunctioned at some point on the family home lawn. Although the murder weapon was never recovered, police noted that it was powerful enough for bullets to penetrate walls and multiple fences. During the time of these killings, Puata-Chaney was under electronically monitored bail. He was restricted from leaving his home without permission due to his involvement in a previous gang war shooting, at Auckland's Sofitel Hotel, and was violating his bail conditions. His lawyers told the court that he was in a methamphetamine-induced psychosis at the time of this double murder. His guilty plea in March this year came just 10 days after he had been sentenced to 3 years and 5 months imprisonment for his part in the April 2021 Sofitel shooting. Puata-Chaney was among 2 other members of the Headhunters Motorcycle Club who caused the shooting in the lobby of the luxury Sofitel Auckland Hotel. The trio was initially among 6 men accused of participating in the high-profile gang warfare on a busy weekday morning in April 2021, amid escalating tension with rival club the Mongols. The 6 accused were Hone Rayana, Tyron Panapa, Fred Tanuvasa, Marcus Nielsen, Parere Paikia and Mikaere Puata-Chaney. Rihanna, Panapa and Puata-Chaney were found guilty by the jury and were given prison sentences. The shootings were a part of gang war between the long-established headhunters MC and newcomers the Mongols. Puata-Chaney was given a discount at the Sofitel sentencing for his difficult upbringing immersed in gangs. During that earlier sentencing, a high court judge noted his difficult upbringing and told the court that his mother was closely linked to Black Power while his father was a member of the Headhunters. Sentencing him to life on 27 July, Justice Edwards agreed that Puata-Chaney was brought up in deprivation. He left school at age 13 and instead received an education in violence. The gang headquarters became his school. Extreme violence is the only thing you have known in your life. There was no way for you to avoid it, she said. But that does not relieve you of responsibility. You still retain the power of choice. The judge agreed to a starting point minimum period of imprisonment of 23 years with a modest discount of 6 months for his background factors cancelled out by an uplift of 6 months for having offended while on bail. She declined to uplift the minimum period further because of the sentence he is already serving or to apply further discounts for his drug addiction. What he did was not the same as someone caught selling drugs to feed their own addiction, which is how the discount is usually applied, she said. But he did deserve a further 6-month discount for remorse and a 1-year discount for his guilty pleas, resulting in the end minimum period of imprisonment sentence of 20.5 years. Eliza Trubuhovich, 34, a freelance photographer, was formerly an international flight attendant and owned a streetwear store in Auckland. Geoffrey Trubuhovich, 75, was described as a devoted father and the quintessential Kiwi bloke, a good-natured prankster who loved classic cars, fixing things around the house, metal detecting and good books. After today's hearing ended, the Trubuhovich family thanked members of the criminal justice system and others who have offered assistance, prayer and support. They said there will be a void in their lives which will never be filled. Their lives will never be the same, but what has happened has brought everyone together and made them stronger.